to your next game. So, Christopher Colombo. We've got main armaments, damage control, aiming systems, propulsion, concealment, and main battery. Propulsion. So you're removing damage control and taking propulsion instead. It can come in very handy if you do a lot of stopping and going. Propulsion is great. Also, if you like to do a lot of maneuvering in the smoke and that sort of thing, propulsion module is fine. Let me take a look at your rudder shift. So rudder shift time is 18.02. So I have a general rule that for me, for battleships, I want that rudder shift time to be 15 seconds or below. And maybe it's a placebo thing for me, but it helps for angling my armor better to incoming fire. So you could take instead the steering here, and you can see that gets you underneath 15. So you've got, I'm sure, Luigi Sansonetti, and that's gun feeder, grease the gears, basics of survivability, concealment, fire prevention, adrenaline rush, emergency repair. All right, and thank you for the shout out, Puddin. Thank you again, Mar Draco, for the sub. Appreciate it. Good to see you. So here's the question, I suppose. Is there anything else worth taking on the Italian battleship? I don't think so. I mean, I suppose that you could make the argument for brisk, but
yeah, I guess, or something like if you want priority target or something like this.
Right.
But what do you drop for it? Like,
well, you have to get rid of turret traverse. Right?
Yeah, you can make the if you take the damage control mod in the 4th slot, you might be able to drop basics of survivability and free up the points there.
True, because that essentially is the same kind of thing.
Yeah, there is a little bit of diminishing return if you have everything.
So you could do that, and then you take some other 1-point skill, which is...
If you want the brisk and the turret traverse, this is what I would do.
Right. Right. Okay. So let's move on then to your signals. Anti-det, fire reduction, heal boost, right? And then smoke gap, consumable reload, secondaries. Now I'm interested. You are not running ship speed, which I would think you'd want to. But okay. Flags are expensive, so makes sense.
It also makes sense. Like if you don't take risk, then maybe the signal flag is also not as good. Whereas if you have brisk, you definitely want to run the flag as well.
Right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the game. Sent me a ranked Verdi game. I'd be proud of the hard carry. Sounds good, Mardraco. Do me a favor and delay the patch a week. Because if the patch is this week, I'm not going to be able to cover it, because today's the last stream for this patch. And if that's the case, then I owe you a replay for the next patch. You only run 4 flags and randoms?
He should instead just make it so that replays are backwards compatible, like they are in World of Tanks.
Please don't. You know what's going to happen if that happens, Grunty? I'm going to have people that are going to use cover my replay. Ago? I want the replay from 6 months ago on this exact date of this replay file. I have that extra time of stream because of the birthday. Huh? Glenn wants more reports. All right, so let's look at the build, or look at the battle. Your top tier, there's a tier 8 carrier you probably don't really care about Aquila that much. Yamato, Kurfürst, and Comparable are definitely threats, as are Minnesota, Pommern. Pommern less so. Plymouth, Takahashi, Buffalo, Baltimore are your food. Sherman you don't care about, frankly. And there's a sub. So she's got, as Chad is mentioning, she's got the ability to use SAP, primary weapon, and then there's also AP. I have to go longer to watch this special replay, Mardraco. I see. I see. Well, I hate to tell you this, but I really like being married. And I had already negotiated a 6:30 stop time, which would be one more replay after this. But if you insist, I could definitely ask. Marriage is overrated. There are things I could say, Mardraco. I'm gonna bite my tongue hard. Like, and not say them. I like it, Driftin'. Do it for science. We'll see when this replay ends and how long the next one is. You have cats, it's cheaper? I suppose, but cats can't also get a job. I reached my donation goal. Ah, okay. You mean getting a level 5 hype train?
Good question. Why are we reversing?
Why are we not using spotter plane also?
So many questions. My guess is he's waiting for the Palmer to show back, or the Sherman to show back up again.
He is using the special commander. Cool, nice.
This I don't like. I don't like the decision to game return out. Oh my god, Mardraco. Mardraco gifting a sub. Oh my god, there's Stevie and his mother. There's Stevie and his mother right there. Wow. Mardraco, you are nuts. Now he's turning away. Well, so kiting away here, I get, because it does allow him to control the engagement better. His smoke also is available. I see why he didn't get slapped for this. Everybody's too busy shooting at the Sejong that got detected, and also the Vallejo that detected and died. So that's oof.
Why didn't we switch to AP for that salvo on the cruiser? Since, like, he has gun feeder with Cincinnati, that switch would have been quick.
Mm-hmm. You both decided to start cutting out because their side was so strong. That I get. That I get. Yeah, I was expecting to get smacked too, but again, if you're a battleship and you see a cruiser like right in front of you spotted, you're gonna shoot the cruiser. So, oh look, the sub died. You don't have to worry about the sub anymore.
There was another chance to switch to AP right here.
Yeah, on the Plymouth.
He's probably gonna turn out.
I think he's waiting to see what the Plymouth's gonna do, and of course, he turns.
It's a Plymouth. It doesn't even matter. He can just shoot AP anyway.
Fair. That's fair. Alright, Plymouth is bow on. You needed to hit something. Good to stop him from pushing. Ah, okay. So that's what you were trying to do. I'd stay on the Plymouth here. A lot of indecision there.
I would shoot the DD here.
Nah,
Why?
I'd go for the Plymouth is the bigger threat to your DD buddy than the Sherman.
Bingo. That was my thinking exactly.
Also, you loaded the AP, so
Right.
if you want to shoot the Sherman, you gotta switch to the SAP.
2 fires. That should be a DCP here, by the way. So that little bout of uncertainty there is going to cost you your shot on the Plymouth. Also, it looks like he likes to burn. Because he hasn't DCP'd once yet. He's gone through an entire heal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you don't DCP the double fire, what are you DCPing?
I mean, especially against the Sherman. Now, I can understand the concern about a torpedo, right? Like from sub or destroyer. But there is none there. The sub is dead, and the Sherman only has those weird, you know, the weird torpedoes on him. So
And you have the daring there that can spot the torpedoes for you at a decent distance.
maybe he's just trying to boost his adrenaline rush.
3 AR?
Takahashi might show up soon. You play conservatively with your DCP on purpose. Okay.
But there is no limited DCPs that would like. Like, are you waiting for the third fire before you use it? That makes no sense.
I mean,
Like, how much health did we lose with the double or whatever?
I've played so many games where I've DCP 2 fires and it gets set on 3 or 4, so I get it, but like, I
You
still
can't
do
get
that
set on
automatically.
4. He does fire prevention.
I know, but I'm saying there are
And
times
you-
where I'm not running fire prevention and I'm on 4.
And you gotta look how many ships that are even there that can potentially shoot HE at you.
Yep.
Like,
I'm not sure about this decision to smoke, by the way. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish with that smoke, because you weren't detected anyways. And again, a lot of uncertainty here is forcing you to lose a lot of really good opportunities.
that was like, why didn't we shoot at the buffalo there?
Right. You know 34 thanks for the follow. Big hit on the Takahashi. It's not a kill, though.
Attenzione, segnalo la posizione del bersaglio. A tutte le unità, concentrare il fuoco sul bersaglio. Rilasciata cortina fumogena.
I wouldn't worry about the Takahashi. Well, I mean, get the easy kill, I suppose. I thought there'd be somebody closer to him, but it's really only just the Yamato and Lexington. Oh, look, the Yamato's escorting the Lex. That's nice of him.
I would have fired just one torpedo, one at a time.
Fire the front two, and then turn and fire the rear if you wanted to, sure. Now you DCP.
You would have had the rear turrets ready here to shoot the Sherman.
Okay, I like the drag across. That's good, because he's so low, you know you only need a couple connects and that's it. 3 overpens and it's dead.
Il cacciatorpediniere nemico è saltato in aria.
Novice Noob is a great lane. I've seen that person before.
Should have switched to SAP here.
Against the Pommern? Sure. I mean, the superstructure will just eat it up. Also, I might be looking more at the Minnesota, frankly. Because you can kite
You
away
also-
better.
You're also at a point here where the kiting just doesn't work anymore.
Mhm.
Like, you gotta make something happen if you want to come back in this game.
Well, and you're on a sticky fire because or a flood because you DCP'd that one flood. And interesting of note is that this Minnesota is shooting HE.
How did Daring here even die? I guess hydroed by the... sitting in smoke and hydroed by the Sherman or Plymouth Radar?
Minnesota knows what's up. I don't know. Adam, how'd you die? Now here you'd love to take a shot in the Pommern, but you're so low health. I agree with the idea of waiting for your heal to come back up. This is where allowing those 2 fires to burn twice is coming back to hurt you.
Could have also used the time to switch to AP. but-
Yeah, Sherman Hydra, okay. Stop looking at your teammates. That's not going to win the game. You have a Buffalo coming right up. If you weren't too busy spectating the Buffalo, or your teammate, your Mato, you could have actually shot the Buffalo there. Ah, okay. Sherman caught up to you, spotted you, you smoked it, then the Buffalo radar. Gotcha.
Corazzata nemica affondata.
Yeah, see, Red. It's a full HP Yamato. I mean, what do you expect?
And Sherman caught up to the. I mean, the daring is slow, but the Sherman is not much faster. And
Adam
the daring
was-
has better concealment.
Yeah, but Adam was kiting towards the corner of the map, where he, I think, just simply ran out of room. Hey, look! He was running out of room.
Well, that's
Oh, look at your sub. What a champ going underneath his target, the Minnesota. Oops. So now you could probably turn yourself around. You don't know where the Kurfürst is. But once you go beyond this island, you're not going to give too much input to the team, unless
Yeah,
the Kurfürst appears right behind you.
I like turning around and swinging the guns to the other side.
Bingo. And because you're in a Colombo, the rear turrets are 360s, it's very easy to turn around. Also, rip your sub.
Also, yeah, it comes to bite you with the fires here again. Like, you're on the last heal, and you can still heal everything back, and like,
Mm-hmm.
you could probably have a solid 10,000 hit points more here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, pasta!
Avvistato incrociatore nemico.
You just finished the match while watching this one? How'd it go? All right, good kill on the Minnesota. Plymouth is probably heading towards A. So not turning around allows you to intercept him, I suppose. So there's that. Also, you don't know what the Yamato is gonna do. Nothing special? Got it.
I'm just not sure they can even win this on 2 caps. I
100k in Dreadnought? Gotcha. Well, we'll find out. That Kurfürst, I don't know. He must have gone to the next match. Maybe he decided to go to the bathroom. Something ain't right.
Or maybe the hot date in Berlin.
Kurfürst is still down there. What the heck? Rip your Des Moines.
why are we? Oh no, it's a
You smoked and asked for intelligence data from a carrier that hasn't really been doing much.
Yeah, that was a really, really bad smoke.
I mean, you can use an ASW plane or something to try to get anti-air to fire up, but that Yamato is stuck in a bow-on fight and broadside to the Kurfürst now. Deadeye is okay.
It's like he wanted to desperately not get spotted and shot at anymore.
And I don't know what you're afraid of, because the Plymouth is not a threat, and the Yamato is clearly not looking at you. And can't shoot you either. And now your consumable action time is extended. Okay, back up. Imagine if you had another heal right here, because you didn't need to heal because you had DCP'd those 2 fires twice earlier.
Avvistata corazzata nemica.
Yep,
Nice
also
hit.
switch back to SAP.
Yeah, probably. 4 minutes left in the battle. Your full health Yamato is doing a great job of losing this engagement.
I nemici stanno per vincere.
You got the new carrier for 75 doubloons only? Oh god.
Congratulations.
I'm sure Big O is reeing right now in his head.
Yeah, but here's the issue. Like, you need to kill pretty much all
Everyone.
the enemy ships now to win this. Yeah, it's like,
Look how healthy that Kurfürst is. You better hope that that Lex is going to focus on the Kurfürst and that the Aquila does something really stupid and lets you shoot him and kill him. Too
Like, you
lone
would
is OP in brawls.
You might have lost the engagement over with the Kurfürst if you go for that C cap. But I think trying to go over there and win that engagement was the only chance you had of coming back into this game.
I think it was a better chance than what's happening right now. And you said in comms you were complaining about the Yamato being full health and all that. I mean, sure, go for it. But that's not going to salvage this game. Might make you feel better about losing, because you can throw the blame on him. But what did we witness? We witnessed opportunities, like right here, opportunities to shoot that are being missed because he's too busy looking at this full health Yamato instead of where's the enemy coming from. So hopefully some good feedback for your friend and for you too, and anybody else too. You notice that with all these interesting boxes, you either get it the first time or the last. Yeah, you rarely get somewhere in the middle. I remember that the
You
Yohandi
have
whale.
maybe one last chance here. You ask your Lexington to try to spot the carrier, hopefully death strike the Akia, and maybe get a lucky ram on the Kurfürst. If you shoot the Kurfürst here, you're never gonna win it.
So I opened up on for chat. They were asking, they wanted to see how many boxes I had to open. I had to open all but I think the second or third to last, and that was it. So that's why I call her the Yohande whale. So, oh. Also, I was just about to mention, you went too fast into the B cap, no spotting, got yourself detected, and just lost your cap progress.
I mean, the cap progress doesn't matter at this point.
No, but again, like I said, it makes you feel better, and gets you more XP. Helps you end up higher on the scoreboard when you lose, so you can say, look at what these other guys did, and I did so much more.
Like, I would still, like, tell the CV to find the enemy CV, shoot that CV, and ram the Kurfürst.
And what do you know? Kurfürst has the ability to defeat your smoke with Hydro. Nice sap hit, though. Or was that AP? I think that was sap. And Aquila, now, you didn't have your plane up to try to spot while your smoke was on. You better hope for a big hit. Well, you got a big hit. 20 seconds. Now you better hope for this carrier to be spotted real close to you.
It doesn't even matter. Like, he's not gonna get his shells off and on target in time. Like, he can shoot, but the shell's never gonna land in time.
And look at the Lexington's planes, completely negating any potential spotting. Wow.
It was
So-
a PRC. You could have still maybe, like, it depended where the Akia was, if it was actually in range. But you definitely had the time to ram the Kurfürst. So
There was-
if you, instead of using all the shells in the Kurfürst, if you could have fired them at the Akia, which may or may not have been possible, we don't know, because it wasn't spotted, could have given you a chance to win it.
Also, I would caution you against worrying about your PR, because your PR means absolutely nothing to you and you alone. So the idea of saying, well, I need to save my PR is a defeatist attitude. You've already given up. You've already said the game is over, and now I'm just going to do everything I can to boost a stat that only matters to yourself, frankly, and that's it. Other people can shame you by your PR and your win rate and all that kind of stuff. Why does that matter? At a certain point, Mar Draco, earmuffs, hold your ears up, please. I don't want you to hear this. At a certain point, you will probably stop playing this game. And once you've done that, the stats don't matter at all. I can go back to Battlefield 3, my stats in Battlefield 3, I'm a Colonel 100. I had at the time for a while the 22nd in the world for jet kills on the Xbox 360. What does that mean now? Absolutely freaking nothing. So
Was
don't, huh?
no, continue.
Okay, so don't be worried about your PR. It doesn't matter. Focus instead on the game. Focus instead on trying to make that win. I really think if you were focused on the game and the enemies and your shots instead of focusing on what your team is doing and not doing, you would have been better off. You might have even managed to salvage this. Let's take a look. Initial. Go ahead.
He said his buddy was trying to win here at the end, but what his buddy did there was not a winning play. He might have thought that he's trying to win it, but what he did was never gonna work for a win.
No, because of the carrier still being alive.
Right.
And what Grunty is saying is very true. The only opportunity, once he sailed through that central channel, first of all, he should have smoked earlier when he knew he was going to be spotted. Second, he's depending on his team, which so far hasn't produced. He didn't even ask, Lexington, can you spot their carrier? I will set up for a shot. Can you spot their carrier? Click the mini-map. Get your planes over here so I can see their carrier. That's what Grunty is saying. If he wants to play to win, that's what it's going to take at that point in the game. So,
yeah, it's just like you don't have the time to kill both ships with your guns. So you have to focus your guns on the one ship that you like. The Kurfürst you can kill another way. You can try to ram it. You're never gonna ram the Archaea in the end. So you have to get every single shot off on the Archaea, trying to kill the Archaea. So, because if you fail to kill the Archaea, you're never gonna win the game.
So he had the right play in mind, Adam. The problem is he didn't communicate appropriately. All right. Yes, I know he used the F key. I saw him use the F key, but the carrier didn't understand. Here, we're gonna do a quick exercise, chat. I'm gonna hold an object up, and I want you to tell me the first word that comes into your mind when I hold this object up. You ready? Here we go. You can do words too. Here's the object. Type in chat right now. I'll read it out loud. Mug, dirty water, cup, PR, death by mug. Riddick, sex. I should not have done this. Zaf.
What?
Dork. Thanks, Rosanti. I love you too. Projectile. Zath's cup. Nobody went with white. Nobody went with smooth or porcelain. The point I'm getting at. Coffee. The point I'm getting at is when you use F10, in your mind, you're thinking of something, but to their mind, it could be any number of those things. Hopefully not sex when you're hitting F keys. But anyways, so you have a keyboard, you've got the ability to type, use it. You've got the ability to ping on the mini-map with a specific, location now. It used to be just a grid square. Now it's a specific dot on the mini-map. Use that. Those are good opportunities for you to help communicate. Even if somebody doesn't understand English, if you communicate on the mini-map, they might say, oh, over here. Instead, what did that carrier do? He defaulted to attacking the Kurfürst because he thought, well, that's what I can do now. So, communication, very important.
Yeah, just type, for example, bot the CV, I ram Kurfürst, or I ram GK.
Right. Right, exactly. Spot CV, I ram BB. Easy. Fine. Many people understand that. I mean, there's a possibility that they won't either, but at this point,
I mean, yeah,
that's the hole you're in.
They might not do it. That's something out of your control, but...
So, getting back to here, Colombo, bow in, stopped, reversing a little bit. Right? So, now Colombo is broadside, and see, there it is, right. So they just killed the Vallejo that thought he could get all the way to the island for some godforsaken reason. So guess what? He deserved to die first. But now the Sejong follows him. This is why he was able to turn out in this Colombo, because of all of this stuff that they were focused on instead. More kitey, more kitey. Now, Adam, here's the part where Adam is being chased, and there's that Plymouth. Because earlier, there was an opportunity, several opportunities to shoot the Plymouth that were not taken, right here especially, and the Sherman got hit instead. I guarantee you, had the Plymouth been shot at instead of the Sherman, the Plymouth probably would have backed off outside of radar range. So I think that's huge. I get, we were talking earlier that Sherman's lower health. Is it better to kill that destroyer? I don't personally have a lot of respect for Sherman, especially in this environment, because the Sherman is kind of a one-trick pony. It's got the guns, and it's got the smoke.
Most Germans just sit and smoke and farm.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. They're dependent on somebody else to spot for you. Who are they going to farm? A Daring? They can't see the Daring. Colombo, Minnesota, both of which are battleships. What are they going to take? They're going to take fire damage, or maybe sap damage if the Sherman's using sap. All right, let's continue. So here's the part where you run out of space, Adam. You hit the border, and you smoke up.
Okay. I
What?
think the mistake here is like he did one. He ducked out too far towards the island on the right side, like a minute ago or 2 minutes ago.
Who's he, please?
Not Adam, like the Daring.
Okay, I'm backing up. Ducked outside of the island. Because he smoked
No,
here.
that wasn't further back.
So at this point, he turned in
like
instead
here,
of turning out.
If he goes straight towards the Colombo from this position, I think he's safe.
Oh, okay, but he turned southward. He actually stopped and smoked, actually. Because here he stops and smokes, right in front of a Palmer who's got hydro, a cruiser that's been spotted that has radar, and a destroyer that's got hydro. So Adam, that's oof. You were trying to bait the radar. Anyway, moving right along. Because you were waiting, the Plymouth just YOLO charged you, and that's what gets you chunked. Actually, you didn't take damage, so that was not bad. Right there. Right there. So you turned back north again. You kept trying to spot, and that island worked against you, and then you saw the Sherman. And the Sherman saw you, and then he just YOLO'd straight at you because he doesn't care.
And the Takeshi also with a big salvo. Oof.
Takahashi got it. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, okay, well, it is what it is, but here, just straight. And I think you'd be better off. All right. So back to the Colombo game. Their Aquila did a really nice job of focusing for quite a bit. Right here, I want to point out is we both did, at this point, you'd have a lot more health if you DCP'd both of those two fires. And here, you killed the buffalo. Time compression is a thing in this, so you don't notice it, but your div mate there could have killed him a lot earlier. So see what the Lexington's doing right now? If your friend wants to go and find the carrier, your friend needs to be clicking on the minimap C8 and saying CV spot or something like that. Also, here's the right time to use the smoke. You're entering the cap. You know you want the cap. So smoke. Instead, he waits until he gets spotted, then smokes, and then it's too late. Oh my goodness, Mara Draco giving Stevie a bet of money. Oh my god. Mara Draco, I can ask her for you, but Jesus. Oh my goodness, Mara Draco. Here's what we need to do. I gotta do this quick. Adam, thanks for sending it in or having your buddy send it in.